Things have changed since my last video where I was introducing the series and what I wanted to talk about, what I wanted to show. I was also confused as to whether or not I would focus on trying to apply for social media jobs based on my experience of volunteering doing social media work, or if I wanted to apply for a communications engagement roles, ideally work for charities. So the update of where I'm going to hopefully be in the next few months is this. I am going to start volunteering for Health Watch next week. I had a meeting, it all went very well. It sounds like a really interesting role. I'll be a community engagement volunteer, and essentially what I'll be doing is traveling to different healthcare providers like GPs, hospitals, and getting patients' feedback. So typically patients will be waiting in the waiting rooms, and I would be a volunteer that gets their feedback on certain services and their experiences with health and social care. And then I would need to write down what I've learned, like type it up onto, I don't know if it's a form or reports, just have to have a record of what we've done. And it's going to be a lot of that kind of stuff, like really engaging with people from the community, trying to help them, probably hearing lots of stories. It sounds somewhat similar to when I did the telephone job. With the telephone job, I guess the idea was to help companies improve their services with housing. So that obviously still is helping people, helping the wider community. But directly, this would be a face-to-face role. Maybe calling people on the phones as part of the role as well. I'm not entirely sure. But it just sounds more like where I'd want to be rather than cold calling people, like bothering people. I don't want to do that kind of stuff. So hopefully this role is not like that. But from the woman I had the meeting with so far, she seems very lovely. She's worked at the company for a long time, and she just kind of had that youthful, like fun, vibrant energy. And when you've been in the job for a long time, I would assume you'd be like serious, bored. But it's nice to know that from the people that I've met so far, from just different experiences or meetings, since like trying to get into the charity sector, people generally do seem very happy and they care about the work that they do, which is very good. So I'll be starting there. I also heard back from a job I applied for last month, and that job was for a company called Project Trust. They are essentially a charity that give opportunities for young people around like 17 to 25-year-olds to like go abroad and to volunteer, and they come back having like a wealth of experience, having more knowledge, and also they get to see what it's like in other cultures, which sounds really, really cool. I want them to send me somewhere, but the role would essentially be me doing their social media stuff. So that was a very, very interesting role that I applied for, and I was really excited to hear back. The next step in the process is for me to design a reel for their social media, and I need to say which platforms I'd put it on, why, and obviously showcase that I've used their branding and the right messaging through the reel that I design, which is going to be really fun. Like I do that stuff anyway with the places that I volunteer for, so it'll be a very easy task, very fun, and hopefully, yeah, I don't feel pressured or anything like that. It's just a task for me to do, and hopefully that helps me get an interview and progress to the next stage, because it would be great to have that job. I could save up money faster, and it would be really good to have that kind of experience. And obviously I'll be working for a charity and do social media work, which kind of combines the two pillars that I was going between. I was obviously open to it being like one or the other or both combined, but not really hearing back from the places I was applying for. I even considered going back to retail. Okay, that's how bad it got. Like I think it was the other day I looked on Indeed, because I had a plan to do what's that thing called when you apply for jobs, a quick apply. I started to look for roles, and then my body like rejected me like looking for the roles and applying for them. But I've essentially been juggling volunteering, getting to grips with Upcycle, doing lots of things for them, because we're essentially rebuilding their social media from scratch. So we've archived all their posts on Instagram. We have been designing content, because there's lots of things that the company does and stands for, but we need to promote it in a way where it's clear that each post is focused on a particular thing. And earlier this week, me having to screenshot all the posts that they had all the images, all the captions, just so we had a record of them before we deleted them. And we could reuse the pictures and recreate our own designs from them so they look better and they suit our new branding. Yeah, doing that was long, okay? So that's why most of my week has been taken up with me doing that. So, and upcycle stuff in general. I'm also doing lots of content stuff. So that's not necessarily gonna help me find work, but it's been very rewarding and fun for me to do content stuff. I have like a few more video ideas I want to film within the next week or so. I also have a volunteer career coach induction next week, so I need to also do some reading ahead of that as well. There's a lot of things going on, okay? There's a lot of things happening and I'm excited that things are kicking off. I'm also scared because there's a lot happening, but yeah, that's been this week. Next week I plan to start Health Watch volunteering. I plan to prepare for the volunteer coach role. It's an induction and they select who they like from the induction. If I don't get selected, that's fine, because then I have one less thing to do. But yeah, I swear there's not been this many sirens since before I started filming the video. This has been the life update and I'll see you soon. Besos.